So last video I'm going to be doing today, just because this thing is crazy long, look at like an hour long, is Asmin reacting to the Diablo 4 live stream. I think I'm definitely not alone, but Diablo 4 is looking amazing. I really can't wait for it. I've played all of them, 1, 2, 3, Diablo 2 of course being the better one in my opinion, but 3 had probably the best combat, not gonna lie. But I like 2's overall like game feel, I guess, just playing through it. But yeah.
Like I said, our first.
Oh, let's start from the beginning. Yeah.
I have returned to hell for you.
So fucking badass, man.
The way he says it's badass, but at the same time, like, it could be he becomes like a Giga Chad or a complete simp. Because it's like, did he go to hell just to hook up with her? Like, what the heck? I think depending on how they go with that is really gonna like skew people's perceptions of what's his name, Andariel or whatever.
Oh, there they are. Hey.
I'm joined here by Joe Shelley,
There we go.
the game director for Diablo 4, and then I have Joseph Pipora, who's the
Aslan, thanks for 5 subs.
director of Diablo 4. Obviously, this is our, like I said, our first live stream here,
That's right.
live at Blizzard right now that we're doing for
live in
Diablo
the
4.
cave.
Live in the cave.
We're
yeah.
here.
You guys are seeing it for the first time. This is our brand new
That's
studio that we'll be doing live streams from going.
I'm noticing he's looking at this guy a lot. I don't know why. He hasn't really looked at him once. Maybe they're friends and this is just a dude they work with.
Forward.
Let's see.
You probably recognize some familiar things in the background
Is that Bale?
as well. We have like Bale back here
Yeah.
from the Diablo 2 Resurrected commercial that we actually did with Simu Lu, and
I think it would have been better if he's going to be the one mainly talking for him to have sat here so we can look at both of them.
Winston Duke, which is really cool. We got like the giant Diablo skull in the background. Our skate
That
deck.
is really
I'm like
cool.
trying to point in random directions right now as I
So
look at
Lilith
myself on this
statue.
monitor.
Yep.
And then of course Lilith. Lilith's right here. And what's cool? Oh, and behind Joe's head we actually have a giant treasure goblin.
treasure
It's
goblin.
It's the mascot.
Oh, it's
Oh.
pretty.
Yeah.
Sneaking up
I
on us.
didn't even see
Diablo
that.
there, especially in our building here at Blizzard.
Uh-huh.
But as you guys know, we've been doing developer quarterly update blogs since the announce.
Always good thing, I think, especially with the industry going the way it is. I think game developers being as clear as they can so that the players aren't filling in the gaps with unrealistic expectations is always a good thing.
Back in 2019 with Diablo 4. And this is kind of our new format going forward. We're actually going to be doing more and more developer update live streams as we head towards launch for D4 and even post-launch. But this gives us the opportunity of being able to connect with the community, hear from the devs straight from them through a fun format like live streams. So please excuse our mistakes and slip-ups. I promise you we'll have them. That's the best part about doing live streams and so forth.
Yep, it started
the
muted.
The live part, exactly.
Blizzard live
but
letter?
At the
Yeah.
same time,
I'm gonna
what's
try
great
not to
about
pause
these
it,
is that
because the
you guys
video's
will be
already
able to
crazy
hear
long.
more and more from the developers behind the scenes and hear their stories about how they are working on the game and what they're working on. So in future live streams, we'll have more information and more details about Diablo 4 before we head into launch. But yeah, I know we have a lot of stuff that we actually did announce over
When's
the
the beta?
past week. And Joe, I think it would be like a great opportunity for us to kind of dive in and,
Beta's probably
and
not
kind of
for
talk
a
more
while.
about like what's occurred over
I
the
would
past couple
assume.
weeks.
Yeah, the past couple weeks have been, really the culmination of the past year of getting the game, getting all the content into the game, testing the game. We've had test after test this year, internal tests, the closed beta endgame test, which was, we wanted to test our endgame to make sure that
Oh wow,
we
they're
have a
much
chance
closer
to
than
tune
I
in and
thought.
polish it before launch.
Yeah.
Better to test it before
As
before
early as
launch.
possible, right?
Including the press previews that we did. Some of the press got to play and community got to play a little bit before the
I
game
didn't-
awards.
I
And then
didn't
of
get
course
one.
we had the Game Awards moment.
I didn't
that,
want one, by
You
the
know,
way.
really
was
capped
it
off the
Force
year
Gaming?
and brought in.
I think he got
we had
in.
the Monks take over the Game Awards. There in LA. We had.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
That wonderful opening where
You saw my first
everything
impressions
got
could be
dark
with you
and,
guys.
You know, you sort of had a little bit
No, I
of
really
mystery
mean it.
about what was going to happen, and then of course Halsey performing.
Yeah, the Halsey moment was
Oh, that's cool.
amazing. And
That's
this image was
really
so
badass.
cool. This is
Yeah.
But
actually
I don't think I
a
saw what
picture
they're
she
talking
ended
about.
up taking right before the Game Awards performance.
That's a really cool
holding
skull,
the
though.
Diablo skull. It's incredibly iconic in terms of how it was.
Oh, it looks
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I had no idea she was such a huge Diablo fan.
I mean, I love how it mirrors this.
Oh, we
statue
finally
of-
looked at
of
him.
Lilith holding the Diablo skull.
Oh, I never
yeah,
thought
and she
of
is
that.
a huge Diablo fan. She said her first Diablo game was actually D2. So it's pretty cool to be working with
Good
her
game to start
and having
with.
her perform her song Lilith.
Really, really good game.
There at the Game Awards and having that cool
That
moment
is
as we
badass.
led into
D1 was a bit rough.
you know, the reveal of the trailer, and of
No, I
course,
bet it's true.
You know,
A lot of people
the
played
big
it.
announcements at the Game Awards being the release date for Diablo 4, which is, we can finally say,
That's right.
which
Yeah,
is
it's right,
June
June.
6,
Yeah, yeah.
2023. And during that, announcement, we
6/6.
also ended up opening up pre-orders for the game, and we have multiple different versions for people to pre-order online or.
I heard there's a collector's
on the
edition that
Xbox
doesn't
Store,
come
on
with the game.
PlayStation Store.
Is that the
But
case?
we've also gotten some questions regarding the actual different versions.
It's always
and
dumb when
I
they
think
do things like
we want
that.
to just kind of go through a few of them so we can kind of detail out exactly what people will end up getting for each of the different versions of the game. I know that the first version, obviously, is the standard edition of the game itself.
Does that come
and
with
if
the
you end
game?
up pre-ordering any copy of the game, you do get early access to open beta.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it doesn't matter what version of the game you guys.
Oh, so if you
as
pre-order, you get
you're gonna
early access to beta.
beta.
Exactly. And
Holy
pre-ordering the
shit.
standard version of the game, comes
That's pretty
with
cool.
benefits
I don't know if
in
it's-
itself of within
I
Diablo
mean,
3,
I'm
Diablo
gonna-
1,
if I
can pre-order, I
cosmetics.
will, mostly 'cause I'm
and
gonna
of
get the
course
game no
it comes
matter
with
what.
The a mount in D4.
Nice.
And I think one of the coolest things is this World of Warcraft mount. And I
It
have to
is
give
really
a huge
cool.
shout out to the WoW
Yeah,
team
I
want
here.
this in WoW too.
They absolutely killed it. I've been using this around Valdraxxus myself while
Yeah.
playing Dragonflight. It just looks so cool. And it does come with the pre-ordering the game in itself. And if you get pre-order PC, you actually get it now. And if you pre-order on console, you'll end up getting it at launch with console when you can link your
That's cool.
internet accounts.
Yeah, and that mount is based on a
Valdraxxus.
character in Diablo 4.
Hey, it's live.
Spoilers.
Hey, yo, it's live.
But yeah, we won't spoil everything. But yes, it most definitely is. And then there is the digital deluxe
wow.
version
Yeah, he
of
does.
the
I follow
game.
his Twitter, he does.
And we also have an ultimate version of the game. But with the digital deluxe version of the game,
Thank you.
you do actually get early access to the launch of the game, which is really awesome. And it ends up coming with an additional mount in D4. And
Oh.
of course, it also does come with the battle pass in itself, the premium battle pass for the game. And
Wow.
I know we have an image here for the ultimate
Yeah, I
version of the
think
game
most people
as
aren't
well,
really hyped
which
about the
comes,
battle pass.
with the emote.
Oh,
That's right, the wings
this one.
the wings emote, which will allow you to have Inarius wings in the game, show them off in town. with
Nah,
the emote,
his were way
the emote
longer.
Yeah, and we've gotten
It's too
some
short.
questions from the community
Also, it
that
was more.
we wanted to talk about regarding the at least with the premium battle pass itself.
Oh, fuck, we're gonna talk about
because
this
I
again?
think there's questions related to
Oh, my
pricing what the
God.
battle pass is going to be. It is going to be $10 in US dollars.
That's not bad.
In-game currency value for the premium battle pass. So
Okay.
you get that included with the digital deluxe and the ultimate version. The ultimate version does come with like the tier skips and so forth. But then, and there's also questions related to early access.
Sounds like they're going
Yeah.
with like the Genshin
for,
model.
The
Or is that
digital
Blue
deluxe and
Protocol? Or
ultimate
maybe
version,
both?
Because I think some people were wanting to know, like, oh, does that come with, with early access? Does that mean I have like a massive leg up on people? And I know you guys wanted to talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, so I think there are two points there. One is getting early access to the game's release that you get through the deluxe version of the ultimate.
If you're doing
edition.
world first on
And
anything,
the thing
then
I
yeah.
want to be clear about is that the game will not be launching in season one. Season one will arrive weeks after the launch of the game, and when season one starts, everyone will be starting at the same time. Everyone will have an even playing field.
That's
And
good.
you know, a lot of our competitive features.
it's like
This is
Warcraft
this is
and
objectively a
rewards
good
and those kinds
thing.
of things
Yes.
are going to
Yeah.
show up in seasons. So folks who get early access to the game will get to check it out.
That's a
I would
good
say
way of
big
doing
good.
You
it.
don't have to worry about you
So it
know,
doesn't feel unfair.
any unfairness in terms of seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know
That's
with
good.
like the premium battle pass and so forth, like there's like some tie-in or some questions tied to like season journey and everything.
Yeah, this is a good actually. I'm glad we have an opportunity to kind of talk about this a little bit. So there's I think there's confusion about the distinction between the battle pass and the idea of the season journey. And the season journey is still in Diablo 4 in the same way that you found it in Diablo 3. And
Okay.
it's kind of a chapter-based mechanic that as players are progressing through the season, able to complete these various objectives tied to each
This is like
chapter,
Diablo
and
Immortal,
some
yeah.
updates the way that
That's
the feature
fine.
works. You'll be earning like rewards for your character as you go through the process for this, but you'll also
Yeah.
be earning favor by completing chapters of the season journey.
Okay.
And that favor is what drives some of the progression for the battle pass itself. So just by playing through the game normally and completing some of these objectives and earning this,
Yeah, that's how
earning these
most battle
rewards for your
passes
character,
work,
you'll
though.
also be progressing your battle pass more quickly, which is great because even if you don't,
Sure.
even if you don't buy the battle pass, and there are still many like items in the battle pass that are still available for free. You'll just get access to as you rank up the battle pass anyway.
Okay.
So even if you don't spend the $10 to purchase the premium battle pass, you'll still get like some minor cosmetics and a few like gameplay like boosts that you'll be able to earn during the course of that experience. But even those boosts, you know, like let's say you get the accelerated version of the battle pass, you know, a few extra tier skips that come with the game initially when you start
Okay.
playing in season 1, which is again when the battle pass would actually start.
Yeah.
The like these gameplay boosts have a character level requirement attached to them in addition to the tier requirement. So just, you know, if you've managed to purchase a few tiers or if you progress that system more quickly, you'll still have to have a character with the appropriate level to make use of any of those things. It's really, really important to us that we balance the things that you can find in the battle pass in a way that they're compelling but still very fair. We don't want to have any situations where players can feel that they can pay to win.
Yeah. And of
It's the
course,
feeling
Okay.
that really matters. Yeah.
all of the seasonal content is completely free and it's not attached to the battle pass itself.
Yeah, we're gonna
something that
definitely do another one of these streams at some point, just to talk about like season 1 and maybe seasons more generically.
Yeah,
we've
I
done
wanna hear
some,
about that.
Like we've had like blog posts and things. We've talked about this more recently.
That one's going to be an
But
interesting
to
stream.
reiterate,
Looking
like
forward to that.
seasonal content, like our big season updates, are all.
I'm gonna try not to eat
completely
into
free.
the microphone,
they're
but I'm
filled
hungry,
with
so.
new like progression mechanics, new monsters to fight, new challenges, new quests,
Okay.
and content to go and consume. There's a lot to look forward to. All of that is completely comes with the box price of the game you've already purchased.
Yeah, and as
That's
Joseph
good.
just mentioned here, like if you want to learn more about the battle pass itself, feel free to like check out our blog back in August where we kind of detail out a lot of our plans on that. And of course,
Yeah,
we do
I-
plan
I've
on
looked
talking
at all
more
this.
about seasons here in the future because people are going to want to know what season 1 is about, and we'll have more information as we get closer to launch
And we're
on
excited
that.
to talk about it, frankly. 'cause
Yeah.
we're-
and there's some incredible cosmetics in the
Yeah.
battle pass. Too.
yeah.
I'm
So
super
there's
Oh, thank
cool
God.
content in Battle Pass, but no power. You have to pay for it.
Yep, no power. And then
Right.
the next big thing that
That's
I do
fine.
want to also mention, of course,
Yeah,
with the
I approve.
pre-ordering all the different games is the
Just gonna pause it real quick. I really wish they would make anything that's in the battle pass like achievable, like in the game. Like if it's a cosmetic, it's just a rare drop. You know what I mean?
collector's box. And I know we've seen a lot of chatter about this because of like all the cool items.
Does
and
it
so
have a
forth
real
in it.
demon in it?
We did want to, yeah, we have an image right here. I mean, it looks amazing.
Blizzard, send me one of
We
these.
did want to clarify in
That
the
looks really
pricing of
cool.
the collector's box. Right now, it
Really cool.
it is priced at $96.66, ha ha ha, and it will be available on the Gear Store in North America, EU, UK, and Latin America after the stream itself. And then in Australia and New Zealand,
Adam,
and in
send me
Korea,
one.
They
I
will
want
have
one.
those available at select retailers for people to actually pre-order as well.
I want it.
So there is going to be options here for
want for
people to check out or purchase the actual collector's box. There is one other question that I know that a lot of people are going have asked about, like, hey, does this actually come with a copy of the game? It doesn't. This is just a collector's box of all the items
that's
that
kinda
are
dumb.
inside, like collectible items that people would want related to.
I think that's
D4.
weird.
But
They
this
should
also
include the
gives you
game.
a little bit of
Because at that point, it's like maybe even have two versions of it: one that has the game, one that doesn't. Because that's just weird that it doesn't have the game. I don't know when that started happening, where collector's editions wouldn't have the freaking game in it. It's kind of dumb.
flexibility too, because you can actually end up getting a standard version of the game and a collector's box if you prefer, or you can get the ultimate version.
Yeah,
of
they
the
should
game
just
and
give
the
people a
collector's box, so
standard
you can kind of
version.
mix and match depending on exactly what you specifically want for your own needs, because you may be like wanting all the collectible items and as opposed to all the digital items or so from that end. But what's even cooler is that we actually have a collector's box here.
Yeah.
You do?
Okay, let's see it.
So
How
we
big
do want
is
to
it?
show it off for the first time.
Look at this.
Yeah, this thing is
thing-
And
massive.
you
This
open
thing
it from
is
the
massive.
middle, right?
So we're gonna go through a few of the items here. This right here obviously is the
Okay.
box with like the gates of hell opening up.
So you
and
open
actually-
the
We're trying to
gates, yeah.
adjust it for the cameras to make sure people can really see.
Exactly. Professional hand models here.
Oh
Everyone.
yeah, clearly we're very good at this in particular. But it's really neat in that even it just opens up like the gates.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I think there's a plan to do more, have like
Correct,
more of
yeah.
an unboxing video.
We're gonna show off some items here, but then after this stream,
That's pretty cool.
We are most definitely hoping you guys actually check out the Diablo YouTube channel, because the
I don't
Diablo
think I'll
YouTube
get it
channel
myself,
itself
but
is
I like the idea
gonna
of stuff
have
like
a
that.
full unboxing of all the items and give you like a little bit of a closer look and details and so forth. But
Just
we,
give me
we do
one.
want to show off what we can
I'll
here
do it.
for sure.
Yeah. So the first thing we have is like one of these prints. Right?
Correct. Yeah, well, there's 2 different prints that actually come, or actually, I guess almost 3 different prints that do come with the collector's box in itself. Of course, some people may be familiar with some of this concept art that we've actually shown off in the past, and now
this
you'll
is
have your
cool.
own map prints of those. And then we have another one down
Yeah.
here.
I think for $100 they
here.
should include the game. Like, there's no reason not to.
Loving couple.
Just seems
Yeah,
odd.
it's the happy couple, right?
The Anarius Lilith combo here of the concept art between both of them. Anarius in chains there.
Yes. Again, so cool.
Kind of wish it would also be a picture of like them together. Like that would be,
And then
I
we
think
have
better.
the
Things there's things.
yeah, we have the Heradrim pen as well, which is really cool. And I you can be like Tyrael now. I guess Tyrael now in the story.
So I put that on.
Yeah, this is so cool because we had to build the Heradric. The Heradrim are a key part of the story of Diablo 4, and so we needed to design a symbol that appeared in game that was really iconic and part of a symbol of their order.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be quite important, and so we decided to make this this physical pin so that you could kind of
Be part of the secret
part of
club.
it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
There you go.
So you too can join an order of secret demon hunters going across Sanctuary, trying to keep things safe.
Exactly.
I mean,
This
kind
is
of
actually
already
one of my
were
absolute
doing
favorite
it.
things here that we're about to show. I want to make sure that I actually get it the right side up.
There's a map.
I did not.
There we go.
I like when
Oh,
they
is
do
this
the
like how big the
side.
map
Yeah.
is?
There we go.
Like it just
Live.
looks like a real map.
Yeah,
I really
this
like
is
that.
the cloth map
Okay.
here of, and what I think
The
the,
fact
coolest
that
part
it's
about
cloth,
this is
that's
this
really
is
cool.
actually a full representation of like the areas you'll
one
be
area,
playing
two.
in Diablo 4.
That's right. We
I wonder how big this really
you know,
is.
when we went to build the world of Sanctuary
Yeah.
for Diablo 4, one of the things we wanted to do is make sure that the game map had the feel of the kind of map that you would have that people made when they thought maybe there were a bunch of serpents in the water.
Right.
And so it was so cool to
see.
build all of
I
that
see,
art
yeah.
for the map, and then getting to actually represent that as a physical object in the cloth map is so cool. And there are even more embellishments on this map. A lot of the art.
It
there
looks
at the
really,
bottom,
really nice.
and all
Compared
around
to a lot of the
outside.
maps
Very
I've seen
cool.
or
Framing is
other
so
ones.
cool, like Lilith.
It gets
up at the
really,
top
really
and then,
good.
like, kind of center frame there, and then of course, like we mentioned, like there's points in the game like Skazgland, Dry Steps, etc. that are represented in the map that you'll actually be able to see. And when you open up the map in Diablo 4, it's essentially this, which is awesome. So
Yeah, I'm just a huge D&D and RPG nerd, so like anytime a game has
Yeah.
a cloth map
Yeah.
that comes with it, like I'm just
Yep.
so ecstatic.
That
to
is
just hang
cool.
that up someplace and just put it somewhere.
Sure.
So I'm really stoked to see that we actually have this. And then we have
there's more.
there's certainly more. We have the art book, which is massive.
Yes.
Here you go, Adam.
I have
You
the
hand that to
PoE
you
and
awkwardly.
Elden
Yeah,
Ring
I will
art
attempt to
books
flip
too.
through
Accepted awkwardly. Yeah.
But yeah, it's got
Okay.
it in itself. It's a bunch of different art that obviously the team has been working on within the game and so forth, and
That's really cool.
led
Those
by
art
our
books are
wonderful art
almost,
director
like,
John
crazy good.
Mueller. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm so sorry. There's like super glare.
Somewhat glossy. It's very nice.
Glossy pages, everyone. It looks great. But yeah, this thing is massive. It's super
Yeah.
heavy. It's hundreds of pages here.
I mean,
which
just
is
like
really
just
cool.
it's that's how thick it is, right? Like this is a lot of art. It's really cool, and we can
Yeah,
only show you a little bit of it.
And honestly, if you've like ever pre-ordered like a collector's edition or anything like that from other Blizzard titles like World of Warcraft and everything, the art books from all the art teams here have always been so phenomenal, and that's just another. So
That's not the last piece here. We have
Yes.
we have the candle.
yes, the
Very
candle
cool.
of creation here
Candle
is
kinda
included.
looks dope,
This is
to
kind
be
of like
honest.
the main centerpiece for the collector's box in itself. This thing is really awesome. It's pretty hefty too, and it's great because it's double-sided here, so you can kind of choose sides depending on what you would want. Lilith on one side and Narius on the other.
Didn't we
you
just
know?
do like a Twitter poll for like Team Lilith and Team Anarius?
We did. I will say the results blew me away because I think if you asked me like a month ago, I would have said Team Lilith would have been just
Would have crushed,
dominated. Yeah, but it ended
The
at
trailer.
a 50-50 split.
No, it's kind of weird. I
So
saw
there
that.
are most definitely a
That's
good
pretty
mixture
crazy.
of fans between Anarius and Lilith.
I'd rather have
but,
the Lilith statue in the
candle itself
background
is really
than
cool.
It's
There's
cool.
a ton of
Yeah.
detail on the actual base as I'm covering it with my hand.
Yeah.
Hand model, everyone.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it's even got some extra details here on the bottom specifically.
Fallen skulls.
I sure hope
You
they
can really
include a
see
Lilith
some of
fleshlight.
the detail of Anarius pauldrons.
It's almost hard. It's hard to show off the level of detail, but thankfully we have a video later that we'll talk about some of these things. And we have some
Exactly.
images going up as well.
Yeah, and it's actually got a, because this is an electric candle in itself, this is not like something that will just disappear after using it for so many uses and so forth. But it is battery operated. There's a switch on the side.
I wish
and
it would
so
turn
forth,
it
but
on
you can
just to
then
see how
have
it looks.
Either on your desk while you're working, or and you can flip it from side to side depending on
That's right.
who you want to be in favor with.
Mondays with Lilith and Tuesdays with Anarius.
Exactly. So yeah, this is the collector's box itself.
So what about the game?
As I said, we will have an unboxing on our YouTube channels immediately after the live stream. So make sure to check that out. And pre-orders should be going live after this live stream on the Gear Store. So, and that is in
Yeah, I saw it.
again North America, Latin
don't think I'll
America,
get it,
Europe,
but
and the UK.
looks pretty cool.
You can't
And
buy
then
it in North
Australia
Korea.
and Korea, it will be available at certain retailers. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled for those specific regions and where those details are going to be. So this is the collector's box. So it's actually really cool. Super excited. I'm sad I'm not going to be able to like immediately run over and
Don't you
and
fucking end
pre-order
this
it
now.
itself because I'm
Okay, there's a
gotta do
stack
this.
of
I gotta do
papers. That's
this.
only the first paper.
But we actually
Okay.
have a lot of other things to talk
Thank
about,
God.
as you guys
Okay.
know from the Game Awards and what
Here
you
we
probably
go.
saw in the beginning of the live stream. Speaking of which, I do want to apologize for our counter. It clearly looks like Belial has gotten to our counter at the beginning of the live stream. It was moving a little slow. Lord of Lies most definitely has taken advantage of it. But we did start perfectly on time. But at the Game Awards, we did reveal the new cinematic for Diablo 4.
It's lit.
And I think this would be just one more a good refresher, just in case if you're
WoW
jumping
cinematics
into
are, like,
the live stream now,
almost
or
always,
you
like,
haven't
thank God.
taken
Now I
a
can
look
talk
at
about
I've
it for a
seen
minute.
a million times. But let's take another look at the Anarius and
Are we gonna
Anarius
have?
and Lilith.
Are they gonna have a live reaction? Oh no, never mind. Okay, I'm gonna turn it down a bit because we've seen this. Okay, so, all right, bro, if somebody spends $100 on a bunch of this bullshit, like, just give them at least the base version of the game. Like, what do you lose at that point? Like, just give them the base version of the game. It's not a big deal. They just gave you fucking a Benjamin. Like, just do it. It's not a big deal. Who cares? It's a digital key. How many people are gonna buy this? It's not like, what do you think? Like, oh, if we give all the digital keys away, we're gonna make so much more money, or we're gonna lose so much more money on like server space for these people. No.
I agree. Like a
I
digital
think
key
it's
should
just
have been included.
it's a silly decision.
Not like a CD, but like an actual.
And they don't
disc
even
key.
need to give you the high-end version, but at least the base version of the game should come with the. This is really cool.
This is a really good
This
cinematic.
is very, very cool.
There we fight true in his holy name.
This is very cool.
I think the only thing I would change is instead of sort of focusing on this bold chick, like they should have focused on
Who is
Lilith.
this guy?
Blessed be the light.
He's Lilith's boyfriend. You can see, obviously, it's a complicated relationship. Yeah, it's her ex-boyfriend. Yeah. I do think this is one of the coolest trailers they've made.
Yep. Like that entrance
I have
just
no
mad.
problem watching this again.
I have returned to hell for you.
I wonder if he went to kill her or
So
is
good,
he...
but man, they
what is he
have
gonna
to
do?
just come on, guys. Can't you?
A million times and probably like half the views on YouTube in it itself.
Are you?
Yeah.
I am.
You gotta give people
I
the
am
game.
boosting the YouTube
Yeah.
viewership all by myself. Honestly, it's probably one of my most favorite cinematics that our
Yeah,
SFT
it's really
team has
good.
worked on.
I
here.
really like it. I think it's
Blizzard.
great.
It's incredible. I think it'd be good to like kind of help inform the community because I know a lot of people. If you follow Diablo, you know who like Lilith and Inarius are, but then. There's a lot of questions related to like who is Lilith, who is Inarius, how important are they within the Diablo
Yeah,
universe? And
are we gonna talk about this?
it'd be kinda
Most people don't know. Yeah.
Great to give a little primer on that.
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
so, Diablo 4 focuses on the world of Sanctuary, and it's the world itself was created by Inarius and Lilith. The Diablo,
crystal,
the universe of Diablo,
whatever it's called.
there's this eternal conflict between heaven and hell, with the angels on one side and the demons on the other side. And Inarius and Lilith got tired of this and wanted to have a third way, and they created the world of Sanctuary where the humans live, and Diablo 4 takes place. And
Sort of abandon their responsibility, sort of, right? Like they're expected to continue this.
So did they
war.
bang
well,
or
that's
not?
certainly the take of
Pretty
the
sure
demons
they
and the
did.
angels both. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely.
The Nephilim had
Did
to
they
come
get it
from
on?
somewhere.
Like, how did this happen?
So, these
Wasn't
two
just them, though.
characters, these two
There's other ones.
antagonists, are essential part of the story as you adventure through the world of Sanctuary. These two founders who do not see eye to eye at this point, certainly.
Well, oh, they're gonna get back together.
Are a key part
Aw.
of the story that will unwind.
It's
Yeah,
a
so being able to like,
romance.
explore like Lilith as a character, explore Inarius as
A romantic
characters, like, their
comedy.
motivations, kind of what
That'd
led
be
them
funny.
to where they are now and why things are blowing up the way they are. Yeah, definitely very important to the overall story. Very cool to explore as well.
Yeah, and I think like the cinematic showcases like amazing moments, especially for Inarius. I mean, he's very much center stage.
Yeah.
For
He's
kind of the
fucking
first
awesome.
time that people really get to see or experience him in a Diablo game, beyond just like the lore, the discussions, and so forth. And I think like just seeing his power and what he represents right there was amazing.
Yeah, Inarius is a force, to be
Yeah.
sure. And it's so cool to be able to tell the story in a way that we can have really multifaceted characters that have real motivations, like you were saying, but also be able to represent the raw power of some of these characters like Inarius. Like when you think about that shot of Inarius' wings, getting to see them over the army.
It was
there,
very cool.
And
Like spreading
Yeah.
out super wide. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And
It was
Angel
lit.
Wings have been such a beautiful part of Diablo games for a long time. I think back to the scene with Tyrael and the World Stone and how his
Yeah.
wings were represented there. The way that they can move, they have kind of this quality that I don't think I've seen any other wings, angel wings, that are represented quite this way. They're just incredible.
This
They
is
feel
like
very iconic
a
to our
jellyfish.
angels in in Diablo.
Yeah, they're
right?
tendrils.
Absolutely.
Like a
Tendrils
Manalord
of
and
life.
then,
jellyfish.
of
Solid
course,
move.
they're not just visually cool. They're also functional. You can see in the cinematic we just showed, when he lands, he actually impales a number of fallen off screen with his wings.
Yeah, this is honestly one of my favorite parts where
Yeah.
it's just like coming down and the fallen are in awe, and obviously he's just impaling
connection
them.
there.
And
That's really cool.
His feet landing on the ground and like the amount of impact he has while doing a soft landing is just insane. You can tell he's got something on his mind. He clearly has an objective.
Yeah,
wants
he's
to most
fucking
definitely go
badass.
towards it.
We get it.
It's just
Oh,
insane
we
to see
know.
the power that's behind him. And I think one of my other favorite moments is the kind of the pulse he sends out that like completely brightens up hell. All the fallen are essentially like blinded by it, but it's got this unique sound to it, and like a little bit of like fun Diablo lore is that like angels in Diablo are beings of light, and the sound and like the resonance are all tuned to the crystal arch, and it's almost like you're hearing his unique sound that he actually sends out, which just causes all the fallen to immediately move off and be scared of like his
That's
power
cool.
and what he
Yeah.
brings.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's so much in regards
Like
to,
his own
to the
resonance.
story between Inarius and Lilith, and it's weird to also think that Inarius is also kind of was originally serving under Tyrael, which is obviously a very familiar name within Diablo. So there's a lot more to reveal that we're going to be doing here over the next couple months as we lead up to launch, and of course when people jump into the
So they
game
bang or not?
for the Diablo 4 story.
mean,
but that cinematic was
What are you talking about?
phenomenal.
If they didn't, I know a lot of the other ones did, because they had
The
followers
next
on
big
each
thing
side.
that we did
I
want to
followed
talk
them in.
about, and this is a huge part because this is actually kind of a new thing that a lot of the community may have heard of, but probably don't have full details on, and that is the Codex of Power.
Oh yeah, Codex of Power.
What is
Yes,
this?
The Codex of Power is a brand new feature that's coming into Diablo 4.
How much does it cost?
It's a gameplay feature, and Mr. Joseph Pipel.
Oh yeah.
$20.
Tell us a little bit more
I'll
details.
talk about this. So this is one of those things I would have loved to be able to talk about in a blog a while ago, but we weren't quite ready to reveal it at that time, and there was already so many things for us to discuss.
Okay.
So the Codex of Power is this new crafting feature that we're bringing online in Diablo 4. We're really excited about it. What it allows players to do is, as they are progressing through this, the massive interconnected world of Sanctuary, they're going to be discovering lots and lots of dungeons as they go.
Yes.
And when they find these dungeons and they delve deep into them, at the bottom of them, they're going to find what we call Codex of Power aspects. And an aspect in the Codex of Power is effectively a legendary power that's been put in this very particular form.
Oh.
And every
okay.
one of these dungeons that players progress through in the overworld has a unique legendary power via the aspect found inside of them.
It's like Ashes of War.
What I love about that is that
Ashes of
you
War.
can create a new character
In Elden Ring.
and you can look at some of the powers that are
I was wondering
available
what he was
through these
talking about.
dungeons and say, okay, I really want to target this power. I'm going to go to this dungeon, get that power.
Sure.
So you're less dependent on like, well, I hope this power
RNG.
drops.
Absolutely.
That's
So
actually a good thing.
There are limitations
Yeah.
in place, but Joe, to your point, that is
I think the only bad thing about it is that if the dungeon has the power that you need is way later in the story, it's not going to feel as good.
basically the intent here, right? Is to give players
It's a deterministic
some manner and
way to
measure
get
of control
powers.
over the nature of their build as they're beginning to go through those steps.
Do we have Roger
But
Cube or
the
what?
Codex of Power is a way for them to basically
I honestly think they could have done it a little bit better. Like, anytime you defeat a dungeon, you get a choice of like 3, maybe 4, or maybe even more of what power to choose from. Because I think with this particular system, at least early on, it's not going to feel that good if you don't get a power that actually complements your build.
take these aspects, and then they're
So I guess they can work around it by giving more of a general powers early on, and then more like niche powers later. Like maybe you're doing more damage, or damage to attackers, stuff like that. That's gonna affect like pretty much any build.
able to go back to a crafter back in one of the major cities, our new occultist crafter actually. And when they go to the occultist, they can hand off actually we're showing it right now. Our sorcerer's friend has just earned aspect of
Just
overwhelming
transmog?
bolts, which is going to allow her
Okay.
charge bolts ability to go and fire 2 more projectiles with each cast. She's going for like an up close and personal melee lightning build.
Sure.
So this shotgun approach for her spender is going to be really, really useful. More
I
bolts,
hated
more
that build in
damage,
Diablo
definitely
3.
very good. Minor
That's
trade-off
really
for the mana
dark.
cost, but still ends up being
It's
worth it in the
annoying.
end.
I don't
Here
like
we
when
can
it's
see
that
that the sorceress is
Can't
now
really tell what the
heading
hell's
over to the occultist and is going to be
happening.
choosing to imbue this aspect into one of their existing items.
This is
So
exactly
she
like
takes
Diablo
the item.
Immortal.
So you're looking at a lot of work in
Yeah.
progress stuff that we're looking at here
Yeah.
because this is a live cast. We'd like to be able to show some things off.
This is good
you have an
though.
opportunity to go and
It's good.
basically override the existing
The
legendary
system
power
that they
on
had in
this and
Diablo
put in
Immortal
the
was
new
good.
power they've just collected.
As long as they make this system like easy to do, like if you, because I have a feeling you're gonna want to be switching all the time. So as long as they don't put too many like currencies into it, that isn't like something you can get in just a minute or so of playing.
Collected to the Codex of Power. So in this way, players get this deterministic way to kind of collect a series of these legendary powers that are out there in the game for them to find, but it's not all of them. You can only find some of the legendary powers overall in the game.
Okay.
There are over 120 dungeons in the game. So this
Jeez.
represents like a lot of really exciting and interesting
That's
things for you to collect
freaking-
as you're going through these areas.
That's a lot. I
Also,
hope
better be,
they're
like,
not
really
copy
hard
you
paste.
don't just find legendary powers for your class. You'll
I don't
find
mind if
legendary
they're hard
powers
or
for
not. I
all
just
the
don't want, like, a
classes
bunch
as
of
you go.
repeating
And
This
ones
is
that
good.
can work in multiple classes as well.
Yeah,
we think
yeah,
this is really
really
cool because
important.
every time you find an aspect through one that you can put into your Codex of Power, this is now available to all characters in that realm. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
for sake of argument, if we're playing in season 1,
Old friendly.
you know,
That's
every
what we wanna
character that you
see.
make, let's say you're playing your sorceress first, and you go find a whole bunch of werewolf, druid,
Right.
you know, based aspects as you're playing.
That way, even when you
go and
find
wanna
useless
build a
ones to
new
you,
werewolf
you're like,
character
well,
or
maybe I
new
can make a
druid
build with
character,
that later.
You have all
Werewolf.
those aspects to play with.
So it doesn't
from
feel like
level
you
1,
wasted
so you
your
just
time.
want to start kind of like leveling up gear and getting into a position where you can make use of them.
Yeah.
So we love this idea of like making it so it's easier to go play with other builds.
Yeah, I love too how we've really
That's really cool.
been thinking about crafting in Diablo 4, and I love how the occultist figures into
Still
that.
too
crafting
dark. I don't know why the
because,
brightness is so low
you know,
on
when you
these
think about
plays,
legendary
or gameplay.
legendaries in Diablo 4, what we're really talking about is the legendary power.
Yeah.
You know, and that legendary power can be moved around.
Remember
you can
Echoing
use it to
Fury?
upgrade rares, and the occultist is sort of the.
So are they going to
the
focus more on
central
the
point of
legendary
all of
powers
that.
versus the
all of
legendaries?
that
Witching Hour.
That's absolutely right. So that was one big change we add with, and we've talked about in
That might be
previous
good
vlogs before.
if
But
you
one
really
big
think about
change in
it.
Diablo 4 is allowing legendary powers of a particular type to roll on lots of different item slots, which gives players an interesting game of deciding where they want to place certain powers to make maximum
Yeah,
use of them for
that's
their
really
builds.
cool.
Okay.
Now the Codex
I'm
lets them
thinking
put them
about
on
it.
the
That's
slots that are
actually
appropriate for that power. They can choose.
An
right?
amazing
He was playing
But another
Barbarian.
limitation
change.
to
Dead
the
by
Codex
now.
power, in addition to not actually having the ability to collect all of legendary powers in the game, there's many, many more for you to find as you're playing through Diablo 4. Those powers also are always rolled at the lowest level of power possible. So it is always better for you to go find a legendary item that has the power that you're interested in, and then you can choose to use that item directly or extract the power from that item into an aspect crystal, then go in and print into your own item of your choosing. So those
Okay.
legendary items you find out in the world are always going to end up being more powerful as a general rule.
Yeah, I really like the idea that like no matter what, like finding stuff is.
I think messing, like getting your hands on it is really gonna
the best
determine whether it's
opportunity
a
of getting
better
more amount of
system or
power,
not.
But you still have the customization ability of being able to.
Because I think one of the problems with that is you're going to lose the iconic like weapon visuals when you take away the legendaries from the weapon and have it as like its own separate power. I don't know how that's going to work out in terms of, because sometimes if you play the previous games, you'll see like a weapon and you'll kind of know what it does. But with the new system, that's not going to be the case. So
You know what? I found this power. I would still like to use it.
I'll have to play this to know if it's good or not.
And
I don't know.
add that within the Codex of
Exactly.
Power, and you still can.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's great about it. Exactly to that point is that you can have, let's say that you are leveling up and you get a legendary power that you really love, and you start to sort of make your build around it. With
Yep.
the Codex of Power, you can acquire new gear, and in fact through essences as well, and you can extract. You can bring that power with you, so you can maintain that build. So you're not sort of
yeah, that part of it is really good.
losing a core part of your build as you're getting new gear.
Yeah, and the fun thing about this is that we do want players, as they're beginning to go through their class phase, they're making their skill tree selections, they're going deeper and deeper into this, they're making their fun choices.
Yeah.
We do want them to be able to still want to chase certain other powers. Like, for example, for this, like, you know, kind of like melee-focused lightning build, the player here is participating in right now, like, there are other powers that they really, really want for this build. Like, there's a lightning bolt legendary that is going to allow
That or
lightning
just
bolt
powers
legendaries
to
that's
play
gonna allow
around
them
with.
to have the sphere basically
Like, just to
orbit
see if
around
it's
them as
good.
part of combat.
Because obviously
which, as
you're
you
not
can see,
going to
would
really
be
know
awesome
until you
Oh,
play with
for
it.
the
yeah,
impacts
we had
of
this in
monsters
Diablo
trying to
3.
deal damage when they're up and close and personal. There's lots more things that
With,
that
like, the
lightning
rotating
storm to
purple
collect
things?
as they're going through, and then hopefully find the very best versions of
Oh, I
those
see what he's
legendary
talking
powers
about,
as
yeah.
well as just finding the first place.
Yeah, so I know with the Codex of Power, this is kind
It's
of
definitely
a
gonna
new feature
make build
that's,
diversity, like,
coming
really,
in Diablo 4, and we'll have
varied.
more information and more details regarding like
It could fall under that same thing of, even though there's a lot of
parts of the Codex of Power
variety,
and what you,
there's,
the
like,
different
metas,
powers you
but
can end up
hopefully it
finding
doesn't
and
fall
so
into
forth
that.
to imbue onto actual weapons and or gear in
Absolutely.
general here in the future. Plus other mechanics and other systems that I know people have
Still
been talking
looking
about,
forward to it.
and wanting to know more about here in the future. But I did want to leave some time for some Q&A because I
think
know
that's a
we've
really
had,
interesting mechanic they're going
a lot
with.
of different questions that we've seen pop over the community.
Is the game
here
pay to
in
win?
the, especially in the last week with all the announcements that we've actually
You're
had.
gonna have flying mounts?
Related to Diablo 4. And so I wanted to make sure that we spent some time on those. So we did collect a lot of these questions
they have
through
mounts.
different
I don't
community
think
channels,
Ragnarok's gonna be in
some
hell.
of our forums on like D3, D2R, where people are posting about Diablo 4 there, to Reddit. Some of our these questions actually came from like social media or even our content creators that actually do focus in on Diablo. So
Great.
let's
Okay,
kind
let's
of
see.
like jump into a few of these
wonder who that
specific
is.
questions if we can.
I don't really keep
So
track of
first
them.
one we have is like, what learnings did you guys apply from other Diablo games to Diablo 4?
They learned they could make
Yeah,
Diablo
this is a
pay to
great
win with
question
Immortal,
because
and now this game's going to be pay to win.
When you think about the history of the Diablo
100%, guys.
IP of all the games that
If
have
that's
come,
true,
what
man,
we
that's
wanted
gonna
to
be
do is
freaking sad.
capture the things that players loved.
It's probably
about
true
each of those
to an
entries in the
extent,
series.
at
You know,
least.
and when you think
It'd be
about,
weird if they didn't.
So we
do
really
something
thought about
similar.
how Diablo 1 really established sort of this tone of,
never played Diablo 1.
Gothic horror, this really dark tone that was quite different
Diablo
from
1
other
wasn't that
things
good,
you would see at
to
the
be
time.
honest.
And we wanted to carry that forward and recapture that in Diablo 4.
Like, it's not bad,
Great.
but it's
And
like,
then
don't
when we
know.
look again,
I think I got a bad
what do
experience because of
players
Friendly
love,
Fire.
and hold close to their hearts in Diablo 2. And we really wanted to capture that essence of having systems that unfold out and have all of this depth and ability to look at it and nuance and think to yourself, okay, well, I'm really
think
going to
D2
learn
did that
all
better
of the
than
details of this, and
the other ones.
I'm gonna by having a deep understanding of this, I'm going to optimize my character in ways that people who don't understand these nuances will miss.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
will feel
This is what's
like,
good about
oh,
PoE.
I really am optimizing.
PoE came from Diablo 2.
As long as it's not too complex. I think
Characters really
PoE
like
took
expression
that
of the choices
and
you've made while
went
you're leveling up and
way
like making interesting decisions,
further than it
right?
should
Like,
have.
That's a great point.
It's really, really important. A lot more of that power is
Because
based on
it feels
decisions that
daunting
players
to try to
make
get
along
into
the way.
Character
PoE.
power on the character
Yeah,
itself
yeah.
versus
just stuff that you
the
wear.
itemization. Absolutely. And of course, when we think about Diablo 3, we think about the fluidity of combat, that sort of action
It had one of the
aspect
best
of action
ARPG combats.
the
It feels
moment
really
movement
good to kill
gameplay.
monsters in Diablo 3.
Yeah, and
It does. He's right about that.
Yeah.
Diablo 3 added so much to
It's so much fun.
Combat in Diablo
not
3
just
is fucking
the,
awesome.
The player cast interactions. When you talk about hit frames and
That's something
contact
PoE
frames and all of the
unfortunately
sort of
did
nitty
not,
gritty of
get right.
how that smoothness is achieved. But also the effects on the monsters exploding, various ways that monsters can die, death kits, all of those kinds of things. And we wanted to
That's
make
good.
sure that we
Yeah, it was
represented
badass.
that in Diablo 4 and even at a grander scale. I mean, if you can't behead a fallen, then what are we even doing here?
Yeah, what are we even doing here?
Exactly. Cool. For the next question we have,
Oh, here
as
we
I'm
go.
like dodging the camera and
Ooh,
so on.
here we go.
How does the Battle Pass work, and how long does it go for? I know we talked a little bit about Battle Pass, but I think this is actually a really good question as well.
Yeah, it's a great question. So the Battle Pass
Let's say
will
3 months.
last for the entire duration of a season. And
Okay.
A season is 3 months.
Yep.
Ooh,
So you'll
nailed
have
it.
plenty of time to work your way through the Battle Pass. Active players are going to have no problem with that. It's
Like the average is 3
not gonna run
months,
out of time.
3 to
Yep,
6
and you'll
months
be earning
from my
progress, like I
experience with
mentioned
them.
before, by completing content in the season journey, but also just by like killing monsters, going through dungeons, completing quests. Like everything you do is be slowly earning progress towards your.
It's going to be
your
like
Battle Pass
Diablo
bars.
Immortal.
Yeah, and I know that. Because
Diablo
I actually don't
Immortal
mind
is
Battle
fine.
Passes
Like
because it
with
feels
that.
like
so forth.
with
And
that,
again, that's
the
just
time you're playing
an
is
opportunity for people
rewarded.
who, even
Even
don't
though,
have a
yeah,
battle
you're-
pass will
you're
still
paying
have an
for it,
opportunity of actually
but
going through
it sounds
a
like they're not gonna
season
charge
journey
that
similar
much,
to
$10.
what they kind of experienced with
That's
Diablo
about
3,
average for the
and earning
pricing.
things and so forth.
So it's not
from
on the
that
high end,
specific,
at least.
moment as well.
Oh, I want to call it one more thing because I think there's another question here that
think they
sometimes
should have made it like
asked, which is
$4.99
how long am I expected to play in order to progress through the battle pass? And that's like close to between 75 hours ish. Like it's in that kind of realm for the most part. And this is important because we don't want you to think you hear that there's a battle pass that's going to last for 3 months. Am I expected to play every single day for 4 hours for 3 months? That's not how this works. We really want people to engage with it at a pace that is appropriate to you, and for that you get the time necessary to really go through.
So
It's about
3 days.
Cool.
That's not that much.
Next question that we have.
If you play it like
here
an hour a day.
is, when does the first season of Diablo 4 actually start?
That's right. So
Looks like a
we'll
month
be able to
after, right?
share more details about the exact dates of when the season starts, along with more details about the first season, what kind of exciting things you're going to get to see coming soon.
I guess
But,
like a month or two
the
after
key
the
thing
actual release.
to know is that the game will launch in a pre-season mode,
Yes.
and the season will start some weeks after that.
Yeah,
So it's like,
and
wow,
So for
they're
those
gonna
that
do it like
do end
WoW
up pre-ordering again,
Warcraft,
the digital deluxe or the ultimate version, and they have the early access.
It makes
period,
sense.
Your early access will be within the preseason, so it's not an opportunity to get a leg up over other people in regards to that first season for Diablo 4.
Yeah, I really want to make sure people have time to really play through and enjoy the campaign and see all this content before they get ready to start fresh.
That's actually really good.
Exactly.
So you don't feel rushed.
Next question: if I want to play Diablo 4 on PC and console, do I need to purchase the game for each platform?
Yes.
Yes.
So you do need to purchase the game for each platform that you want to play on.
Makes sense.
But the all of your progression, you can play between platforms, and all of your progression is cross-platform as well.
Oh,
Yeah, and just to
that's
reiterate
really
as well
good.
is that if you do buy
I did not
the
expect that.
premium battle pass for PC and you also play on
That's
Xbox,
actually really
for
cool.
instance, your battle pass does carry over because it is part of the
Even the
your
battle
battle
pass
pass
carries
account,
over.
so
I mean, they
you'll
already
end
brought
up
it.
progressing both on whichever platform that you actually do
Yeah, I mean,
play on. You
shit.
don't need to purchase a battle
Yeah, I
pass.
mean, agree.
for
It would have been even nicer if
specific
the.
platform.
I mean,
only had to buy it
I was gonna
once,
say, like, if they don't have the
But-
tech, yeah,
PlayStation,
it's
on
okay.
Xbox, and on PC.
That's right.
Cool.
I mean, it could be because the consoles have to go through like Sony, Xbox, whoever it is. So maybe they were like, yeah, you can't do that. We need our cut. And Blizzard wasn't willing to accept that. So they're just like, okay, well, the player's going to have to just buy the game again. I mean, that's what I would assume. Because it sounds like they were really trying to get everything that could be cross between console and PC. I still think it's a win. Like, that's really, really cool that they're doing that.
Will familiar Diablo items be returning
I wish
to
other
Diablo
games did
4?
it.
There's no
Sorry,
way
I'm,
they're
like,
not going to
ducking
have like
around.
Andario.
They will. Joe, I think you have
Talron
some.
Yeah,
just,
I mean, there are a ton that are returning.
Yeah.
There's
Scorn.
Shaco's coming back. Windforce is coming
Scorn.
back.
Oh my God.
Grandfather's coming back. There's like Mage Fist is coming back.
And these are unique items.
So,
right?
yeah, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, so the that's a really good call out. So there are legendary items we talked a little bit before. They're that have like really particular powers, and then there are unique items that are much more powerful than legendary items are. Now legendary powers can show up on any slot. Unique items come with like a pretty fixed loadout of like types of affixes that can appear on that thing.
Yeah.
And
the
then
previous-
what the special power is
previous
tied to the
legendaries
unique
were.
item on its own. And they're really,
Uniques
really
are the new
they're difficult to
legendaries.
find. They're really rare.
But
They're
more
fun
niche.
chase items, and you can really build exciting builds around some of these things. But
That's cool.
We've taken a lot
So
of
they
the
didn't
ideas
completely
from these,
remove the
these items
legendary,
from previous
like,
games, kind of reinterpreted them to make sure that they work
loot.
with Diablo 4, but tried to retain that thematic essence to them.
They just added something
it's been an
extra.
exciting
That's-
challenge for the team to kind of
that's
go
good.
after and try to bring in.
I see that.
That was my worry.
Yeah, we have
with
a
that the uniqueness
Diablo
of an
item.
item wouldn't stay if you could just grab its power and put it on something else. But it sounds like they're going to have legit uniques that you can't just take away from it and put it on something else.
It's returning.
And-
Fan favorites.
And a lot of new things too. So there's a mixture of both.
Fan
We'll see some
favorites,
returning
Scorn.
favorites.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool. Next.
And
Let's see
I
it.
think that is the end of our questions
That's
that we had
it?
there, specifically that we ended up grabbing. I know that we wanted to make sure
Video's
that
not
we
done
had
yet,
enough time and
so-
so forth. And but I did want to thank you guys for joining, and thank you guys
gonna talk
obviously
about this.
for joining us
we're
on
gonna talk
our
about
last live stream. But I'm gonna throw you guys before we leave some quick. Fast-paced shotgun questions.
Okay,
I want to
here we
make sure
go.
that we have all these. And
All right,
everything
good.
like that.
So we do
I'd
have
be
more.
curious to know favorite class in Diablo 4 for each of you.
Okay,
Rogue.
fine. I'm sorry.
Barbarian.
Rogue.
Rogue. Okay, so that was easy. I guess Barbarian, but I think in terms of specs. So I could just
I like
talk for
this
5
guy.
minutes, but no, barbarian right now.
Yeah,
you're
this
right.
guy-
There,
yeah,
there's
okay,
so
good.
many cool mechanics. Like when I say rogue, I'm thinking
Remember,
about
guys,
the
this guy's
idea
the game
of being a
director, so
rogue
rogues are
and
gonna be
running
good.
around. Like
I will
that's
say
what's-
Rogue is incredibly fun.
Yeah.
Like plays
So
like
you want to play Rogue?
like, it's
Yeah,
if
that
you
was-
want a fast, like agile character that like is dancing
Play the
around.
favorite class
like,
of the guy who's
it
designing the
doesn't disappoint
classes.
It is
mechanically.
the most. I would say that and the Necromancer are probably the two most fun and flashy.
Oh, they're going to start out with Necromancer.
Like
That's
characters.
cool.
Well, actually, I would say also even the Sorceress is flashy just because of all the spell effects and everything. So it's
Again,
kinda-
there's builds I love on all of the classes.
I personally, I'm a Druid fanboy. Always have been.
Bear,
Love-
werewolf.
Actually, I've really enjoyed like the elemental specs and so
Yeah.
forth. Yeah.
Storm
So-
is so strong.
Storm is so fun.
We're gonna nerf Storm, everybody.
Just because I said something.
So that's more shaman.
See,
For
there
this
it
one,
is.
huh?
This is the guy. Yeah, we're gonna
don't-
play
we're not gonna
Barbarian
use
for
the
sure,
Barbarian.
guys. Barbarian will be
I'd be
just
curious
fine.
to know favorite enemy in Diablo 4. Maybe
favorite enemy.
Yeah. Or enemy family.
Enemy family. Wow. You know, I love I love what we were able to do with the Bloodcasters. There was actually an enemy in Diablo
Can they
2
show it?
under the city that is this vampire caster, very tall and thin and floating, and we were able to
Okay.
reimagine that in Diablo 4.
Cool.
And it moves by turning into bats. And it can form out of bats. So if you get a lot of bats
That's
in
pretty
one
cool.
area, it can turn into one of these casters.
Oh,
Wait,
that's
did they
actually
move in
really
Diablo
cool.
2 is bats.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe I don't know. Yeah, like I always.
I like
it's,
that.
It's so hard to tell with like D2 because it's like usually you find them in
Bat-
like,
yeah,
catacombs
it's
or
a
something like
Batman.
that, and it's really dark and maybe they have.
good one.
I have had no idea.
Literal
But
Batman.
yeah.
Yeah, for me it's Drowned. Like I just the whole monster family for the Drowned, I really like. There's something about like
that
the
from
like
Witcher?
these pale, clammy, like seaside monsters rising up from the waters. And one of the things that's really fun is like they're really like strange and mysterious in the world. And I really gravitate towards that. Like, you know, they're covered with barnacles. They've got like all kind of like broken parts of like
Lovecraftian.
sunken sea vessels they use
Yeah.
in combat. They just swarm all over the place. Often you'll find like you're in slick areas where it's raining when you have to like, actually encounter them. Like they're a super fun a group of monsters to fight. And they've got some neat, a lot of like their brute like has some like really neat abilities that you have to like have, trying to like dodge and avoid. They're very dangerous.
I
So,
hope
yeah, they're my
this
favorite
game
right
has
now.
roles
Nice,
like
nice.
Lost Ark does.
What's a fun fact you guys encountered while developing Diablo 4?
fun fact developing Diablo 4. I'm going to throw it at Joe. While I think.
What do you
Sure.
think?
So a fun fact I learned while developing Diablo 4, that it is very important while we're allowing players to like make a lot of choices and they're thinking about the way they like make a really interesting character for themselves. That we unveil that kind of slowly initially. Otherwise, we have a tendency to like get people like really like scared about making choices, and
Yeah.
they kind of clam up, which is
That's
obviously
true.
not what we want. We want people to like be able to
Fun
engage in
fact:
these kinds of
community's
things.
fucking
So
stupid.
it's maybe not like a fun fact, but I think it's very interesting.
Yeah.
We went through a lot of iterations to get to the right.
Makes
place.
sense.
I'm really happy.
I don't
with
know
what
about
we did.
undecisive.
Yeah, I,
Yeah,
now I have
fun
to
fact,
give a serious
community's
answer.
so
That's
dumb.
fine.
I'm like I should have given some other
Too
fun
dumb to
fact.
make
No,
choices.
I think it's better.
Okay.
You know, I think
It's
we
better,
went
folks.
through we went through a lot of iteration on the first skill when you start out in the very beginning of Diablo 4. For a while, you started with one of your classes, left click, basic skills, and we had a lot of trouble with having that skill that we'd chosen for you, feeling like, well, I guess I should build a spec around this, because it's just you start with it,
It's the
you're
only
familiar
option.
with it.
Yeah.
And it sort of constrained your ability to explore the skill tree.
Yeah. So like if if Sork started with like Firebolt, for example, like a lot of people that were testing would just
play
make
Firebolt.
fire
Yeah.
like spec sorcerers. They wouldn't think about like trying other.
This is
other
a really good
skills.
point.
So
So we ended up going with a basic.
I didn't even think about that. but
We
yeah.
ended up adding, fairly late in development, a basic
Yeah, this is a
attack
good point.
that you start with, so that when you get your first level up, you actually get to choose. Okay, well, which spec
That's
do I
smart.
want to start with? And of course, you can respec within the skill tree pretty freely.
That way,
And
the
I
basic
remember
attack, you
that
don't
when it
really
was originally
can't really
like
build
that.
anything on it.
Thankfully, we test internally and so
fixed it.
forth. We get our own feedback from within the team of what people are actually doing from that end. Of course, and last but not least, the
Okay.
most controversial question: Team Inarius or Team Lilith?
Team Inarius. Even though I'm wearing my Lilith shirt
I was
now.
like-
that's actually really funny. I guess still Team Lilith. I
Team
think I'm
Lilith?
still team.
Okay,
I
we're
think I'm
split.
still Team Lilith. Yeah.
I think
Split.
Lilith.
I won't
Yeah,
break the tiebreaker.
she's the one that
here.
wanted
We
like the
will keep
Nephilim to go kill everyone,
full
right?
at
Oh wow.
50-50.
Trying to
Always a
stay
fan
very
of that.
neutral
I will.
here.
I will
in the center.
stay neutral here.
Okay.
I will choose Team Bale. There we go.
Team Bale.
It's behind me. It's perfect. Uncle Bale. It's
Uncle
great.
Bale.
Uncle
Bale. It's perfect. Great. Well, I think that kind of wraps
When's
up
the
our
beta?
time here today on the
That's
developer
nice.
update
When's
stream.
the beta?
I do want to note that we thank everyone again for tuning
I'm gonna
in
try
for
to
our
avoid
first
the beta as
developer
much as I
update
really
stream.
want to
This
play
has
it.
actually been
Can't
kind
wait
of
for the game to come out.
Right now, right?
a crazy process of getting a studio up back in the building, and I'm happy that we can call this home for our streams going forward. We do have a lot of Diablo activities that are going on that we've announced or will announce here, I'll say in a second, for the whole entire franchise. If you are a big fan of Diablo Immortal or a player of Diablo Immortal, we just had a huge update for 1.7 come out yesterday. It's massive. It's probably our biggest update yet. So I do recommend checking it out. Lots of big narrative moments and whole new areas that kind of expand
give
the
us more
campaign
money
in Diablo
so we can make
Immortal,
Diablo 4
as
even
well
better.
as a lot of quality of life features that the community's been asking for. So been hearing a lot of great positive feedback, and we're excited that that's out right before the holidays. And then D2R earlier this week, we announced 22 Nights of Terror. It's an in-game event that essentially changes the game every single day, and it's kind of a surprise. Think of it like a Diablo advent calendar, you could say. So that actually started earlier this week. And for Diablo 3 fans, we actually have a new holiday event. This is a brand new event for Diablo 3 that I'm really excited to.
They've been working hard on this.
Our D3 team has been working really hard, and they're working really hard on the next season. And we'll actually be revealing that tomorrow on the blog. So make sure to tune in for that, and we'll also have news related to, of course, the Darkening of Tristram, which happens every single year for Diablo 3, and when that will be occurring. So make sure to check out.
I played Diablo 3
Diablo3.com
since
from that
2016.
side. Any parting words?
Remember the last time I played D3.
You know, I really wanted to thank everyone
didn't know they were
for
doing
tuning
events.
in today and following us throughout the year.
Or seasons.
It's been a big year for us, as I was saying earlier. A ton of work getting all the content into the game, setting us up for next year, setting us up for release. We've got a lot of bugs to fix in the new year. We've got to make sure that our server architecture and infrastructure is in good shape for our, of course,
Sounds
our
like the
betas
game's
coming
pretty
up,
much done. You're
and
just
and our release
polishing
as well.
it up.
So some work ahead of us, and we have a lot of exciting stuff to share next year as well through some of these live streams, more of these live streams. But
That's really
you're not
cool
gonna
that
hear
they're
from
doing
us
this
for a
stuff.
little while because we're all going to take some time off to be with our families for the holidays and really take a break from from Diablo 4.
That's nice. When's
Just
the
not
beta?
think about Diablo 4 for a little bit.
A restful holiday period for the team for sure.
Sometimes we have like builds up, people to like sort of like log in and continue to play,
this
and like
time.
not this time. We're killing all the builds for the holidays and forcing everyone to not be on Diablo for a little while. Be good.
Any parting words?
Shout outs to the various Diablo updates we have coming down the road. I recommend everyone take some time to play some World of the Warcrafts because Dragonflight is rad, really fun. But for the community itself,
That's
I think
rad,
that this has been a
okay.
huge year for the Diablo team, much as Joe has already said. We're really excited to be able to just finally start sharing more and more about where the game is at and what we've been thinking about and what we value. It's been awesome talking to press. I really can't wait to just keep this conversation going. I think this is going to be the best thing for everybody.
Great idea.
Both
Come
for
on,
the dev
all
team,
crowd.
to get this feedback and hear the sorts of things that you're interested in. Also, to make sure that we're regularly talking to you so you
That'd be
know
pretty
what
cool
to
if
expect.
Asmon can get
know
one of them
what
on
we're
his
kind of- where our heads are at.
show.
So I'm really excited about that. So thank you for sticking with us this long, and hopefully everyone enjoyed all the things that happened over the course of this last couple months.
Yeah, and like I said, this is kind of the new way that we're going to be communicating out to the community through these developer update
Great,
streams.
free content for me.
We're super excited for them, especially as we get into next year. We have way more information to reveal.
This way it's also
including,
like you're clarifying
details,
things that the
next
community
year,
is
early
worried
next year
about, like
the
the battle
open
passes.
beta and when that will actually be starting as well.
Like it doesn't actually sound too
so,
bad.
Again, thank you everyone for tuning in.
I imagined it
and
worse.
I just want to say happy holidays, and we'll see you guys next year from the Diablo team. Thanks again.
See you, buddy.
Okay.
That was a good video.
Okay. All right. We have a little bit of
Oh, that was
conversation
on
about
Twitch.
this. A little bit of a situation. All right. So, what did y'all think about the? What did y'all think about it?
It's looking good. Like
Yeah, it was
it's much
terrible.
better than
I mean,
what I thought,
I don't think it was that
honestly.
big of a deal. I mean, like, it seemed okay. I mean,
It could have
it
been a
wasn't really
lot
live.
worse.
I feel like they basically just went live to talk about that box, which is like, that's fine. You want to talk about the box, it's okay. I feel like if you buy a $100 fucking box for Diablo 4, they should at least give you the fucking game, man.
Yeah.
At least give them the base game. I'm not saying like, oh, they should get like the fucking elite version of the game with all the good stuff on it and everything like that. No. I don't think so. I think all they need to do is just give people the base version of the game. I think that's all they need
I
to
don't
do,
think
man.
there should be an edition that doesn't come with the base version.
Yeah, what's this here? No elite is proper. Yeah, it's just like it should come with the base version. I feel like how much do you really lose for that? Because how many of these boxes are you realistically going to sell? How many of the copies is it going to have? I just think that anybody who goes to a store and they buy a box with all the Diablo 4 stuff in it, and then it doesn't have the game, bro, I think that's weird.
What you doing, baby?
I do. I think it's a bit weird. And it would be so much better if that was not the case. That's so whack. Yeah, I think it is. I don't know why
Yeah, I don't know
is
who started that.
a
Really dumb
why it's a
tradition.
thing. I don't know. Almost feels like false advertising too. It does feel that way. I don't think it is, but it does feel that way. It feels like if you how hard is it to just put a code in the box that you can put in on the game? Also, with them having to sell a console version and a PC version, I don't know how, this is probably some kind of fucking accounting problem or a merchandising problem, but it does kind of suck that you have to buy two versions of the same game to play it on PC and console.
That
And it
does
would
suck,
make
but I
sense
do like that
if
they,
it was an offline game.
everything else
But if
is
you
good
can
about
connect the two accounts, why is it not possible that you can't just oh hey, log into effectively a Battle.net account on your PlayStation 5 and then just play Diablo 4? Every game is that way? Yeah, I guess every game is that way. I guess consoles have to make money, and this is just how it is, right? I mean, I get it, but it is disappointing. Yeah, Sony wants... I think that's really what it is. It's it's probably not even their decision with that. It's just Sony and the other console manufacturers. They want to make money off of it too. So that's just what happens. Besides this, though, I do want to say that I think the box should 100% be... Let me see if they refresh it. No, they haven't done it. They should 100 make that box... have the game in it. That's the main thing. You guys can think about a couple of questions and stuff for us to talk about with this. I need to use the bathroom, and then I'll be right back. The base version of the beta game? Yeah, exactly. And I'd like to have that. And it would be nice if... I just think it'd just be better. Just a sec. Big disappointment that's not cross-platform. I thought it was, but you had to buy it. Can you not play cross-platform, or is it that you have to buy two games if you want to play cross-platform? It's cross-play and cross-platform? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you just need one copy
I will
to
say,
play.
obviously, with the Chris Metzen stuff. Now, this is
If you wanna play
something
on
that
both,
obviously
you need
I
two
haven't really
copies.
had a chance to talk about because it happened at the exact same time. Chris Metzen is coming back to World of Warcraft.
What the heck?
He's actually I can't believe it. I'm fucking amazed.
The Dragonflight make
But yes.
that.
Chris
hype?
Metzen, he is the guy that was the creator of a lot of the universes in WoW, a lot of the characters in the game that you guys know and love. All of those characters are all pretty much made by Chris Metzen. Or at least he was one of the main minds behind them, right? It's the voice of Thrall,
The fact that they were able
voice
to
of
convince him
Malfurion,
is
this
really,
kind of stuff. So
really a good sign.
definitely a good thing, and I'm really glad to see this. I'm super happy to see Metzen coming back. I just think it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, he was the guy that would hype everybody up at BlizzCon, and honestly, Blizzard has had a lot of W's recently. I made a tweet about this, and some people were not happy about it, but I mean, Chris Metzen is coming back. Diablo 4 is coming out. It seems to be relatively good. They haven't flipped the script on things being pay to win or something like that. Dragonflight is fun. Everything is going pretty well, I would say. Yeah, Overwatch 2 is out. Well, we'll see whenever the actual content for Overwatch 2 is out. But,
Yeah,
you know, like
that's
right
what I've been
now,
waiting
it's just
for.
like the
Haven't touched
multiplayer.
Overwatch 2
Overwatch
until
2 is
the
because it has a lot of
PvE stuff
PvE
comes out.
content. Besides that, I mean, obviously every other game has the other stuff. It's not that big of a deal. You can crossplay, but for PlayStation bought their game, they can only receive Battle Pass rewards through PlayStation. It's the same for Genshin Impact. That sounds stupid, but it's probably not Blizzard's fault if it's the same for other games as well. It is what it is. Overwatch 2 is a store update. Overwatch 2 is pretty fun, though. Overwatch 2 is a flop. I played Overwatch 2 a pretty good amount of time, probably put like 200 hours into it.
Yeah.
I would say that I had fun for most of that time. I also got mad a lot, but I think Overwatch 2 is a good game, and I played it more than I played Overwatch 1, and I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed Overwatch 1. I think it's a better game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did I play Hearthstone? No, I didn't. Why Genshin mentioned? Well, the reason why is because he's saying that like the battle pass for Genshin is the same thing. So it implies that there's some sort of like limitation based off of like it being on PlayStation rather than it being a decision by the developers, right? Because like there's two different developers the same thing happens for. But I don't really know. I mean, maybe that's not true and it's just two examples of them doing it wrong.
Yeah, with that it's hard to say because we have no way of really knowing. Because I doubt Sony's cool with developers talking about it. That was really interesting. I really like that interview. If they keep going with that, I think the game's really gonna do well. Because I think the problem a lot of games run into, especially with when it has divisive mechanics, such as the battle pass, that if you don't go into detail, then people are going to fill those gaps with either the worst or the best, and it's usually neither. So when it does come out, people are pretty upset. So when is that releasing? Oh, that's way further than I thought. I thought it was like March, not gonna lie. Okay, well, at least it's coming out next year. I see why he was talking about the beta. I don't know if I can wait till June to give it a try, but I'm definitely gonna try to wait. The whole legendary system, that looks really interesting. Yeah, definitely gonna have to give that a shot to really know what's going on with it and have just I'm hoping it's fun. Like that's really what I'm hoping for. I don't really care if it's that balanced. As long as it's fun, then that's all that's gonna matter to me.